Okay, thank you very much. Good morning to all of you. Okay, by the way, I'm Leo Limano from the Education Information Department. I'm an information officer, no, and we're in charge of the PCOS demonstration. So I'm going to show you the operations of the PCOS machine, or the percent count optical scan. Well, it can be viewed in two perspectives. One will be from the perspective of the Board of Election Inspectors, because they would be the one to operate the machine. And number two would be from the point of view of the voters. No, because the voters will also have an interaction with the machine, no, when they vote. But to start with, what we have in front of us is the SAES 1800, simply called the PCOS machine, or the percent count optical scan. Well, percent count, because obviously it counts our votes at the percent level. And optical scan, no, it is the manner it reads our vote. It reads our vote through an optical scanner. It is actually a duplex scanner where our ballot can be scanned in only one pass. In our thermal printer using thermal paper. Para pong yung sa resibo, pag kayo nag-purchase po tayo doon sa mag-purchase po tayo sa mga department stores. No? And here is yung ginano po natin, yung memory card. So it's a CF card, 2 gigabytes na CF card po, no? This is where the configuration of the machine is located. So without this without the CF card, the machine cannot operate. And it also makes the machine percent specific, because a particular machine cannot be used in any precinct. Okay? Then here, obviously wala po ngayon, we have yung backup memory po niya. So once we back up the memory, it becomes a worm, hindi na siya pwedeng baguhin. Okay? And it's part of the procedure that the BI conducts, no? And here is the LCD screen. This would be the primary interface between the Board of Election Inspectors and the machine. And all operation of the machine is predefined or menu-driven. So there is no provision for manual input. Okay? Then we also have here the communications port. It has an RJ45 jack and a USB port. That is where we insert the communications device. What I have right here is the modem. It can use signals from local telcos like Smart, Globe, or any network that is available where the machine is deployed. But of course, in areas where we don't have signals, from the local telcos, we can use the BGAN or the VSAT, because it draws signal from yung communication satellite po natin. Okay? But while in operation, hindi pa po ito kinakabit. Okay? Then to continue, we have here the security key. That's where we insert yung I button. Yung security key port, that's where we insert the I button or the security key. And this is assigned to the chairman of the Board of Election Inspectors. Di ba po, we have 3 members of the Board of Election Inspectors. We have the chairman, we have the poll clerk, and the 3rd member. And the security key is assigned to the chairman of the Board of Election Inspectors. Then the other 3 members will have a unique PIN code, no? Personal identification number, one for the chairman, one for the poll clerk, and another for the 3rd member. And there's also 3 additional support staff per clustered precinct. Nabagay po natin yung clustered precinct. Ngayon po kasi, kinluster po natin yung mga established precinct. Yung established precinct natin is composed of 200 voters, but since yung makina po natin can accommodate a maximum of 1,000 voters, so kinluster po natin. So one cluster can be composed of 1,000 voters maximum, or between 5 to 7 established precincts. Okay? Yung voting time po natin, sir, okay na po ba yan? 7 to 7 na talaga ngayon? 12 hours na. Yeah, voting time natin will be from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. Okay? So, continue po natin, no? Ang opening po ng polls would be 7 a.m. So, part of the preliminaries to voting na gagawin po ng mga teachers po natin ng BI is to open the machine. So, how do we do that? We simply insert yung security key. Yeah, then it will ask for a PIN code. Now, if it is the chairman who will input his PIN code, isa lang po yung hahanapin. But based on procedures, 2 po dapat. Either yung poll clerk or tsaka yung 3rd member. No, para mabilis lang po, ko po muna yung sa chairman na lang po muna. Okay, so sabi na nga pin-accepted. Then ngayon po, it verifies the content of the CF cards. Because contained in the CF card is the configuration ng ballot, yung details about the present, the number of voters, yung location po niya, kung anong province, kung anong municipality, and yung database po nung candidates po natin. Okay? Now, meron po dito, pingla po, is this the correct time? Ito po, bagong mga features ng machine. Because if you remember po, during the May 10, 2010 elections, meron po nagpo-protesta because yung daw nakaprint na election returns, no, yung timestamp niya is 1900s pa. Okay, so to avoid that, no, meron na po tayong confirmation ng time niya, pwede po nating i-adjust just to make sure that the machine time, yung ano niya, yung CMOS clock niya is in sync with the local time para wala na po yung kagaya po nangyari po noon na kasi actually it's not the fault of the machine. Siguro po in transit medyo na-alog because yung machine po natin meron siyang CMOS battery, baka na-alog na reset lang po. Okay, so ano po titingnan natin yung time niya, so 2013, 2, 5, 10, 17, so pag confirm lang po natin. Okay, medyo Okay, as you can see right now, yung machine natin draws power from a standard wall outlet, yung 220 outlet through a 20-volt adapter. But on election day, the machine is deployed together with the backup battery, which is good to supply power for 16 hours. So if the voting time is 12 hours, we still have 4 hours spare to count the votes and to transmit the results. Okay, so next po itong sinasabi po natin na menu-driven siya. Like right now, meron po siyang open voting, print report, shutdown, preview screen, or utilities. No? And by the way, yung use po ng key natin, another use of the key is to bring up yung menu screen po natin. No? So after bringing up the menu screen, so obviously we open voting po tayo, then it will ask for the PIN code. Again, kung dalawa po, either from the third member or the poll clerk. Okay. Then we have yung initialization screen. So if we select the initialize vote counters, mag-zero po yung makina natin to make sure na walang laman na data yung makina po natin. Because if you remember po, di ba, based sa provisions po ng Republic Act 9369, we should conduct yung testing and sealing at least 3 days prior to the date of the election. Ang ginagawa po doon, di ba, bubuksan natin yung makina, we will insert 10 test ballots na bobotohan po, then we will generate the machine count, then i-count po natin manually to compare kung tama yung pagbabasa ng makina. Okay? So after that, pagkatapos po nun, kung okay na po siya, sasalyuhan siya, and i-open na lang natin yung machine on the day of the election. And to make sure na wala po yung data na yun, doon sa test, yung sa test run natin, we will initialize the machine and it will print yung initialization report. So, ang makikita natin sa initialization report would be the details about the person, kung anong province siya, kung anong cluster, anong cluster present siya, yung composition ng cluster, and the total number of voters for that particular present. And we also have the names of the candidates na nakaprint po dito, dapat lahat 0. So if you have yung mga instruction po doon sa mga watchers po natin, tingnan po natin ito to make sure na walang lamang data yung makina. Kasi po, there were experiences during the May 10, during the May 10, 2010 elections na pati po yung resulta ng testing and sealing na transmit. And for those areas na nagkakatalo po sa 2, 3 hanggang 4 na boto, malaking bagay po yun. Okay? So after this, confirm lang ako, magpiprint pa po tayo. Then wala na. Then sabi na po natin dito, please insert ballot. So this becomes the property of the voters. Wala na po munang gagawin yung Board of Election Inspectors natin hanggang mag-close yung present. Okay? So ito po, bali botante naman po yung hahawak ng makina. Paano pong gagawin natin? Una-una po, when This is yung sample ballot po natin. It's 8.5 by 27 inches long. The difference nito with the manual ballot, the names of the candidates are already pre-printed in the ballot. Okay, so we have the positions for the national, we have yung candidates for the national position, and sa likod, we have the candidates for the local position. Then for every position, naka-indicate po dito kung ilang number of votes na kailangan. Say for the position of senators, we have 12 party lists, 1 members of the House of Representatives pababa. Okay, for our voters, siguro po, pwede po natin sabihin sa kanila na tingnan po kung ilan yung kinakailangan na boto per position po. Okay, so, how do we cast our vote? Doon sa right-hand side niya, meron po ditong instruction. It's written in Tagalog. Sabi niya, paraan ng pagboto. Number 1, itiman ang oval sa loob ng pangalan ng kandidatong napili. We shade the ovals corresponding to the name of the candidates of our choice. The number 2, gumamit lamang ng marking pen sa pagmarka. Okay, so now we use yung marking pen because during the pilot testing po noon sa ARMM, we use pencil. But based on the experience, mas better po yung permanent marker. And we use only yung marking pen prescribed dun sa presinto po. Okay? So, marking pen ang ginamit natin. Ano pong nito? Ibig sabihin nito, para pong chess ngayon. When you shade na po yung oval, touch move, yun na po yung button po natin. Hindi na natin pwedeng palitan. Hindi po. Okay? So, kung ganito tayo, sabihin lang natin po sa voters, na ingatan po natin. Pwede naman po sila magdala ng kodigo. Pwede naman po sila magdala ng kodigo. Okay? The number 3, huwag bumoto ng labis sa nakatalagang bilang sa napiling posisyon. Do not overvote. Kagaya po for the position of senator, 12. If it is 13 na shinadan po natin, that will be considered as invalid and it will not be read by the machine. Okay? But an overvote will not invalidate the whole ballot. So kung nag-overvote tayo in one position, sa other position po na nag-vote tayo, hindi naman po siya, valid pa rin po siya. Okay? So yung undervote, pwede po. Pwede rin po. Kung let's say for senator, isa lang gusto natin, pwede rin po siya. Ngayon, ito po yung difference ng makina natin noon. Kasi doon yung experience po natin noon, di ba? Pag nag-cast tayo ng balota na may overvote, dire-diretso lang siya, hindi natin alam na nag-overvote po tayo. And one of the new features of the machine, alam na po niya ngayon kung nag-overvote tayo and ipaprompt po niya tayo na nag-overvote. By the way, the ballot can be inserted in any orientation. So kung makikita po sana natin to, you have overvoted to at least. Obviously, ang choice natin would be to cast. Because if we return the ballot na may overvote siya, hindi naman po natin pwedeng burahin eh. So the obvious choice would be to cast yung ballot po natin. So insert po natin ng baligtad because yung ballot natin can be inserted in any orientation. And another thing na titingnan po natin, meron doon sa baba nakalagay ballots cast. No, at this point 0 kasi wala pa po tayong na valid na ballot na pumapasok. So ito po ang first po natin. So overvote lang siya, i-cast po natin. Then po, sabi niya scan complete. Ayan, congratulations, your vote has been registered. Yung ballots cast natin at this point is 1. Another po naman, actually in-emphasize po namin ito because definitely the voters will experience this. No, kagaya sa overvote or undervote. Kagaya po nito, ngayon po, if we insert a blank ballot, noon diretso rin po siyang tinatanggap ng makina. But this time, pag nag-insert tayo ng blank ballot, yan, sabi niya, blank ballot detected, please ensure you use the proper marking pen in the proper voting areas. So, pwede po natin siyang i-return. Pwede po tayong bumalik dun sa voting area para i-fill up yung ballot. But for those na ma-deactivate lang, kaya boboto at ayaw naman talagang bumoto, pwede rin po natin siyang i-cast. Tatanggapin din po siya. Okay? Then by the way, kung ma-experience po natin na ayaw tanggapin yung ano, ayaw po tanggapin yung balota, based po doon sa instruction natin, i-insert natin yung ballot in for orientation. Pwedeng ganon, then baligtad po. Anyway po, meron po kasi siyang positioning marks. No, alam nung makina po kung anong direction siya. And by the way, pag in-scan po siya ng makina, it will keep an electronic image of the ballot. Nandun po yung image ng balota for auditing purposes and for recount. Okay, and isa po, each ballot is unique. So pag nabasa na po yung balota, hindi na po siya babasahin ulit. And it also can verify kung hindi po naka-assign sa kanya yung ballot. Like this one, ano po to, demo ballot po noong May 10, 2010 election. So valid po na binabasa siya ng makina noon. But pag ginamit po natin siya ngayon, i-return po niya yung ballot. Then, nakalagay po, invalid ballot detected. Please ensure you receive the correct ballot. So, yun po. Kasi present specific po yung ballot po natin ngayon. And one thing na kailangan na po natin sabihin po doon sa mga botante, ingatan po natin yung mga marka doon sa gilid. Okay? Sa excited kanina, meron po siyang positioning marks. Then, ito po mga timing marks niya. No? Timing marks and positioning timing marks po. Bakit po meron yan? Kasi po, the only valid fields sa ballot natin yung inside ng ovals. And the machine uses those marks para to home in doon sa valid fields niya, which are yung inside ng oval. Then we also have doon sa baba, ito po, we have the barcode, and that makes each ballot unique. At nandun po yung data about dun sa configuration ng ballot at kung anong PICOS machine yung tatanggap po sa kanya. Okay? Pakita ko lang po kung ano po mangyayari kung markahan po yung mga areas na yon. Okay? Though this is a valid ballot, pag let's say na markahan po yung area na yon, nakita na po namin, meron po kaming experience na yung botante inaano po, sinishadean niya po yun. No? Sinishadean niya. So pag insert po natin niya, hindi na siya ma-recognize as a valid ballot. Then, returning the ballot, then sabi po niya, paper inserted was misread and could not be recognized as a valid ballot. Sira na po yung balota, so we have to return this to the Board of Election Inspectors. No, ang ano po natin, ng allocation po ng ballot natin is 1:1. So, kung magkamali po tayo sa balota natin, masira po natin, hindi na po tayo pwedeng magpapalit. So isa po na reminder na binibigay po namin sa mga voters, once inabot po sa atin yung balota ng mga teachers, tingnan na po natin kung may mark yung balota. Because at that point, no, sa harap po ng Board of Election Inspectors, pwede pa natin siyang papalitan ng ibang ballot. Wag naman yung hindi mo lang type yung ballot. Kung meron lang po mga markings dun sa ballot na makikita po natin, pwede pa po niyang palitan. But once the voter brings this to the voting area, kahit po masira niya, hindi na po pwedeng palitan yung balota. Okay? And kaya po bilib po natin, ingatan po natin maigi yung balota. Pero hindi naman po kagaya ng hindi naman po parang kasi yung iba kasi natatakot na, sabi nila baka masira nila yung balota. Though hindi naman po ganun ka sensitive. No, wag lang po masira or malagyan ng unnecessary marks. Wag po natin gawin to. Actually, kahit naman po ma-crumple yung balota, tatanggapin naman po siya. Sample tayo. Actually yun po, kahit po makrampol naman yung balota, but inaano lang po natin kasi naingatan to make sure na tatanggapin yung balota because 1:1 nga yung allocation natin ngayon ng ballot. Pwede po siya actually. Ako lang po pwedeng gumawa nun. So, Well, hindi kasi pabot natatakot po sila eh. And one thing, bawal po magdala ng mga bottled liquids or bottled water para baka kasi matapunan. Though pwede naman, pinupunasan lang po namin yan eh. Pero ingatan po natin. Because hindi nga tayo mag-i-issue na nung balota kung masira po yung balot. Ayaw. Hindi po, ano po siya, valid po siya. Okay? Doon yung sa marking, lagi po natin sinasabi, yung nandiyon yung yung proper way ng pag-mark. Yan. Yung tamang paraan po ng pag-shade sa kanya, hindi po tayo kumuha na NCEE, so walang check, walang X, wala yung tuldok, yung mahilig tumaya sa loto, dun sa kabila. No? Ano po natin, yung 50% po na yan, no, though tinatanggap po siya, huwag po natin gawing wag po natin ituro na ganon. Kasi since ituro po natin ng tama. So we shade the ovals in full. No? Actually, pwede naman pong sumobra, kagaya po nito. Ayan, ikot ko po ito. Pwede naman po kagaya nito. Medyo sumobra po siya. Hindi lang po medyo sumobra talaga. Ito pa, ikot ko po. Ayan po, medyo sumobra siya. No? Kasi gusto niya maniguro. Pwede po yan. That is a valid mark. No, that is a valid mark. Wag lang pong kulangin. So, try po natin insert siya. Yan. That is a valid mark. Wag lang pong mag-touch dun sa ibang wag lang mag-touch dun sa ibang ovals. Then kung yung iba since marking pen daw nagbi-bleed dun sa likod. Kung mapapansin natin, wala pong area dun sa oval na tatagos sa kabila kasi nakaiwas po lahat yung oval. Okay? Then during the manual system po, di ba, bawal yung mga unnecessary markings dun sa balota. Because that will be considered as marked ballot. Hindi po siya bibilangin. Okay? But this time, since ang valid fields lang po natin would be yung inside ng oval, bali wala po yung mga markings na yon. So, if we insert po yung ballot po na yon, pwede po siya, tatanggapin po siya. Wag lang po yung ito po actually kaya po ini-prescribe natin yung marking pen kasi kung let's say ginamit natin yung though pwede naman siya. No, ang problema lang po to make sure na bibilangin nung makina. Kagaya po nito, bali inanuan lang siya, yung what do you call this, ginuhitan lang. So pag pinasok po natin yan, ayan, kagaya po niyan, tinanggap. Hindi natin sure ngayon kung siya binasa o hindi. Okay? Kasi po, meron niya mga instances po na let's say tinuldukan lang, hindi siya tatanggapin, and sasabihin niya, one or more ambiguous mark has been detected on the ballot. Kaya po nito. Ayan, ni-return po niya yung ballot. Ayan, one or more ambiguous marks has been detected on the ballot. So, pag binalik pong gano'n, pwede natin siyang i-correct. Okay? Pero yung kanina, yung ginuhitan lang po natin, hindi natin sure kung binasa o hindi. Okay? So, ang gamitin lang natin yung marking pen na pinrescribe po. Kasi, pag binasa kasi ng makina it uses po yung pixel grid addressing system, yung XY axis. So yun lang yung valid po sa kanya. Kagaya rin po dun sa tanong ko muna kung pwede. Okay, ganito po yan kasi. Di ba it uses po yung pixel grid addressing system, no? Kaya natin sinasabi po na i-shade natin in full because kung let's say makina po ang magbabasa dito, Ayan. Meron po siyang parang ganon, no? To ano, na parang sa graphing paper, na pag in-address po niya, meron po tayo tinatawag na yung X and Y axis niya, na let's say itong point na to, yan, yung point na to, ito na lang, 1, Y, 1, para pong ganon. No, pag binasa siya. So, kung sinade lang natin, let's say ang threshold niya is 50%. So, pag sinadean po siyang ganon, at naiwan yung maliit na spot doon, the machine can say that that did not satisfy the marking threshold. Or let's say, sabihin niya na 49.5 lang po. Hindi siya tatanggapin. Okay? Hindi siya tatanggapin. Ang difference po niya with the manual count, kaya po 'di ba nagkaroon ng deviation doon sa machine count at saka doon sa manual count kasi po pag binasa po natin, 'di ba? Pag binasa natin ganun lang eh. No, hindi wala naman tayo mga grid lines na inaano. So pag sinabi natin 50% na ba 'yan? Sabihin natin, 50% na yan. Diba? Since mga lawyer, yung mga nandito, can you answer me with absolute certainty that that is 50%? At hindi natin naiwan yung 0.5. Okay? So, yun po yung nagiging difference niya. Ito po ang laki-laki dito. How much more if we're talking about an area nung oval niya, which is about 2 mm by 3 mm, lalo na. So, kung kagaya po sa mga kagaya ko po, na bulag pagka walang salamin, napakahirap na po nito. Okay? So ito, pwede na rin po nating insert. Dahil po yung mga markings na yun, bali wala po dun sa makina. Okay? So, ito na po, let's say 7 to 7, pag 7 PM na po, balik po tayo ulit dun sa let's say, i-close na po natin. We go back to the security key. Okay, to bring up yung yung functions menu niya. So all I have to do is to isa po yan. And by the way po, di ba, pag nag-cut off siya 7 AM, hindi po ibig sabihin isasara na lang natin kaagad. So those people, those voters within the 30 meter radius from the polling precinct, makakaboto pa po sila. And gagawin po BI, ililista po, din tatawagin isa-isa hanggang maubos. Hindi naman po natin isasara kaagad. So, insert po natin ito. Ang choice natin ngayon, close voting, print reports. So, close po natin. Then, meron siyang confirmation because this will be the point of no return. Because if we confirm po yung pag-close niya, hindi na siya tatanggap ng ballot. So, sabi po niya, are you sure you want to close voting? No more ballots will be accepted after this. So, yes po natin. Then, yung PIN code po natin ulit. Ito na po, shortcut ko lang, isa lang ginagamit ko for yung sa chairman. But on election day, laging dalawa. Yung sa poll clerk, tsaka yung, voting has been closed, no more ballots will be accepted by this because. So at this point, ngayon lang po siya nagbibilang ng boto. Kanina po, ang binibilang niya yung number of ballots na nakast na po, hindi pa niya binibilang yung boto. Ngayon pa lang po siya nagbibilang ng boto based on the image na nakasave po dun sa memory card niya. Bakit po natin ginagawa po yun? Kasi po, kung let's say, meron pong nangyari na sinut down yung makina, pag inopen siya magpiprint siya ng status report. So, kung nandun ako, nabilang na niya, kailangan niya i-print yun doon sa status report. So, para magkakaroon na ng trending, hugutin ko na lang, nahugutin para nakita ko kung sino na nanalo. So, hindi pa po siya binibilang. Ngayon pa lang po siya binibilang. Then ito, preparing election reports. Pagkatapos niya magbilang, isa po din sa yung mga changes na ginawa doon sa firmware niya, noon, we print muna yung 8 copies. Tsaka niya i-encrypt yung data for transmission. Ngayon po, ina-encrypt na niya yung data before niya ipiprint and tsaka ita-transmit. Kasama na rin po dun sa mga safety features niya. Okay, then preparing election reports. Mabagal po siya ngayon kasi wala po yung backup. Kasi pagka every time na mag-operate siya, ina-access din po niya yung backup. Since wala po, medyo natatagalan. At may difference niya ngayon, generating transmission files. Noon po, bago siya mag-generate ng transmission file, ipiprint muna niya yung reports. Ngayon, para po sigurado na naka-encrypt na yung data, ini-encrypt na po niya muna. So, it will first print the election returns for the national possession. We print 8 copies. Ayan, election returns. So, kung titingnan po natin, nandun din yung data niya about the clustered present, yung PCOS ID number. By the way, yung PCOS ID number, they should tally dun sa configuration po ng PCOS. Nung balota, nandun din po yung nandun din po yung ballot ID number niya. Nagmamatch po ito dun sa ballot ID. Okay, then we print 8 copies. So, national possession po muna. Then, pagkatapos niya, titipid ako ng papel, isa na lang. We print the election returns for the local possession. Kagaya po nito, ang ginamit po nating ballot, yung ballot po for the ARMM, meron siyang possession para dun sa regional governor for ARM, vice regional governor for ARM, and yung assemblyman po natin sa ARMM. But for dito po sa atin, non-ARM areas, iwala po yung possession na yun. Kasi as I said po kanina, yung ballot natin are also specific. So sa local possession, ito po siya. Initialization report isa lang po, sir. Apo. Then, kasama po kasi siya dun sa sinasubmit ng Board of Election Inspectors. Then, ito 8 copies. Then, after transmission, magpiprint siya na additional 22 copies po. By the way, pag nag-transmit po siya, habang inintay ko po itong makina, from the PCOS machine, it will transmit to the Municipal Board of Canvassers. Then meron din po dun sa COMELEC Central Server, and it also transmit to the terminal assigned to the dominant minority party, dominant majority party, yung KBP, and the accredited citizens arm. We no longer call them election watchdogs. We call them, accredited citizens arm. Okay? Then pag na-receive na po siya sa Municipal Board of Canvassing, we use yung CCS or the Canvassing and Consolidation System, no? It is the REIS, Real-Time Election Information System. Yun po yung sumasalo ng transmission po natin. Then yung panel niya has radio buttons to determine kung natapos yung transmission. For those na nag-observe po during yung mock election natin last Saturday, kung makikita po natin, di ba, nag-change yung color niya from red, yellow, green, hanggang matapos yung transmission because that shows yung stage ng transmission po niya. Then after that, from the municipal board, it will transmit again to the provincial board. Then, nauulitin po yan doon sa central server and the dominant, yung mga parties natin, yung KBP and the media. Bakit po redundant yung transmission natin? Para po meron tayong comparison kung habang umaakyat yung signal, kung tama yung data na lumalabas. Lagi po siya dapat nagtatali. Hanggang dumating doon sa National Board of Canvassers. Well, kung sa lang po natin dito, yung hanggang senatorial po siya. So, dire-diretso lang to, mabilis lang. Because during the May 10, 2010 election, di ba po nakapag-proclaim tayo na senators within 72 hours. Okay, so lahat siya ngayon automated. Kasi last time may presidential po, di ba? And now you have to convene Congress po, di ba, to canvass the results. So, yan po yung sistema ng transmission po niya. And the transmission files is encrypted. Meron po siya encryption na 128 bits. So, 2 raised to the 128th power, that will be more than 340 undecillion permutations. So, kung may po, sabi po nila, di ba, i-intercept daw yung signal, papalitan, tatransmit niya ulit. Hindi po mangyayari yun because without the hash codes, no, yung encryption key niya, hindi po tatanggapin ng makina, and yung encryption code niya is generated by the machine, and yung pong sasalo sa kanyang CCS, naka-program din po para i-rehash niya yung i-rehash niya yung data. Kasi parang jigsaw puzzle yan, ma'am, di ba? Buo yung jigsaw puzzle, nung bilin mo, hindi naman siya naka-assemble. Ganun po. Yung hash codes niya, it is used to reassemble or to bring back yung, data niya in readable form. So, without that code, hindi po natin maano. Yung sa signal jammers na sinasabi nila, ito issue na naman sa signal jammers. Yung yung data niya is about sinlaki lang po nung MMS message, about 64 kilobytes lang siya. So, sandali lang siya supposed to be transmit. And kung hindi man siya makarating dahil po i-jam daw yung signal, okay, we have yung tinatawag natin na contingency plan. And part of the contingency plan, if we cannot transmit, kukunin natin ngayon yung CF card, then dadalhin dun sa canvassing. So, kung let's say yung sabi ng signal jammers o yes, you can delay the transmission, but we cannot stop yung canvassing. Kasi po, meron po tayong mga contingency plan. Then, ito po, isa pa po ngayon, at this point, sabi niya ngayon, ikabit yung modem. Nung pagkabit ng modem, itatransmit lang po natin. Dito po natin kinakabit yan through the RJ45 jack. Ayan, doon lang po. But wala po kasing walang CCS na sasalo sa kanya. Then after transmission, magpiprint siya ng transmission report. Yung transmission report niya contains yung data kung nakailang try siya, kung na-transmit niya o hindi yung yung transmission niya. But ito po ngayon failed siya. Then after that, when we go back to the machine, balik po siya dun sa print reports, retransmit results, backup and protect. Hindi ko po muna papakita yung backup and protect kasi hindi ko na siya magagamit pag ginawa ko po yun. Okay, then dito meron siyang mga reports. We have yung election returns for national position, election returns for the local position. We have yung statistics. This statistical report niya, nandito po yung data again dun sa number of voters. Then we have number of voters registered. Actually, yung turnout niya, valid ballots read, rejected ballots, nandito po lahat. Even yung overvote, vice mayor, overvote 0, number of undervotes 8 kasi hindi ko po binatohan. Nandun po ito. Then yung sa members sa pag-sugmuniang panlalawigan 0, undervotes 40. Yun po, nandun po yung statistics niya. And isa po importante report pa will be the audit log. Hindi ko po bubuhay na kasi mahaba ito masyado eh. Yung audit log niya contains yung data about sa operation ng makina from the time that the machine has been configured. So February 5 po ngayon, ang unang-unang entry dito is June 19, 2013 because this is the first time na inopen namin yung makina. Then on, lahat na operation niya nandun po sa audit log. Kagaya po nito, January 19, admin choose to zero the results, first pin code entered, lahat po, shutdown system, lahat ng operation na ginawa ko po dun sa makina, nandun sa audit log niya. Stop ko na lang po kasi kukunti yung papel. Okay, so yun po yung operation po ng PCOS machine po natin. Okay, so kung may question po, ano lang po natin.